Thank you, Commissioners. We will first start with the call that witness B makes to Brigadier Nkwashu. Just to note that we will be playing the call from 20 seconds in because she starts by introducing herself. But we will provide the full clip to the Commissioners.
And you are sure Brigadier Nkwashu does not address the witness by name somewhere in the conversation?
We have listened to both to make sure.
All right, thank you.
We got an instruction from the PC, né? And to collect all those dockets, including that docket of yours, and go give it to him. And the instructions were given to us as district commissioners. And if we are not handing in those dockets to him, we're gonna be facing the disciplinary steps. So I gave the case numbers to all the stations, to collect all the stations for me to go and give it to the PC. So that is the reason we want that docket.
Oh, Rick, for now,
Yeah.
I have a problem because I don't have the docket with me. It's a DPP.
Okay. No, it's not a problem. You can just write me a report that the docket is at the DPP, and you send me that report on email. And my email is nkwashuam2@saps.gov.za, or you can send it to the district commissioner email at CDB. Then we will, as we hand the other dockets, we will tell him that that one is at the DPP. It's not a problem.
All right, Rick, I'll do so.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Bye.
Witness B, the second call is in isiZulu. Can you translate that call to the Commissioners?
I'll try. Basically, the brigadier called me back to ask me in particular if that case was for Katiso Mlipe, and I said yes, and he said no. On that case, he is the suspect, therefore I shouldn't bring the docket to him. I must take it straight to the provincial commissioner. He doesn't want it.
And for the record, who was the provincial commissioner at that time?
It's General Msombe.
Thank you. Witness B, did General Ntombeni's office or even the Sidibeng District Commissioner's office ever communicate this request formally to you or your commanders?
No. That was the last time we had such conversation about the docket.
Witness B, you say in your statement that as investigating, he is a suspect. Do you now know, as you testify, whether he is a suspect?
Hey, up to today, I'm not so sure what the brigadier was talking about, because as far as I understand in this docket, the suspects are arrested. There's only one outstanding with the J50, so I have no idea.
And at any point before this the two telephone conversations, had General Nkwashu been involved at all to do with your docket? the Vereeniging docket?
No, except when he was making requests through my colleague. That's the only thing I had to know this name from. But other than that, no.
Thank you.
Could the he possibly have been a reference to Mr. Katiso Molefe?
Oh, beg your pardon, Commissioner, didn't get it.
I'm saying, could the he is a suspect, could that possibly have been a reference to Mr. Katiso Molefe?
I actually not so certain, but there's one thing that I can note while we're there. Maybe it might bring a picture to the commissioners. On the 9th, shortly after Molefe appeared at court, I learned from the prison head that there was a request from Brigadier Nkwashu to go to prison to see Katiso after hours. And the reason why he wanted to go there, according to the reasons given to the prison head, is that he was apprehended that morning at airport, so he needed to bring him some clothing and some food, and it was quite after hours for visitation at the prison. And indeed, according to the prison head, he went there, but they also noted certain things that they made mention to me to say he came driving in the BMW without registrations.
Witness B.
Of which it was.
Witness B, just 1 second.
Yes, the ambiguity with regard to the pronoun does not arise if we listen to isiZulu. My co-commissioner says the brigadier said ngi is suspect. So the ngi refers to the brigadier himself. It only arises when we read it in English. So you can't be sure whether the he refers to the brigadier or refers to Katiso Molefe. So my co-commissioner says he said ngi, which would mean that it's the brigadier who is the suspect.
Yes, Chair.
That's correct.
And we will be providing objective transcripts of that recording.
Thank you.
My apologies, Witness B, you were also providing that confirmation?
Yes, he indeed said ngi, he suspect, meaning he was referring to himself to say, I am the suspect.
Witness B, you were explaining, and I think some of it got lost, or at least I lost it along the way. It was in response to my question whether General Nkwashu has had any involvement with this case, and I think you were starting to explain, you had started to explain that on the morning or after Mr. Tau was arrested at the airport. Can you just repeat that? What happened? And how, and I think you were speaking to the involvement of Brigadier Nkwashu with that.
I'm saying all I know where Katiso is concerned, all I know is that I got a call from the prison head informing me that they had a request from Brigadier Nkwashu, whom he said Katiso was been arrested on that morning at airport. Then he was requesting to be granted permission to see Katiso after hours on the 9th, and then he indeed went to prison driving in a vehicle without registration numbers, of which the prison had noted and said, we find strange, why would the brigadier now drive in a vehicle without registrations? However, they told me that they couldn't allow him to see Gadiso, but they took the clothing from him, and they refused to take food because their policies doesn't allow so. And yeah, that was it about that day. And then furthermore, he told them that he was related to him in a way, but when they make their own inquiries, Katiso denied being related to him, so they felt like there was something wrong happening. That's why they reported that incident to me.
Yeah. I don't know how prisons work, but is an incident such as this recorded in the prison's record where a visitor is asked to come in to see a person? Would there be a record in your experience of this?
Yes, there is also some reports that the prison had made and also deposited the affidavits in that respect.
Thank you.
Even the video footage, I saw the video footage where they were showing me the person that they say it was the brigadier entering there.
Yes. And do you know if anything has been done about this arising from that report? Whether any action has been taken to deal with this?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Witness B.
Commissioners, just to link the past 2 days' testimony, Witness A, you will recall, testified that he placed with the prison officials strict instructions that if there are only certain categories of people who are allowed to visit, and this is part of the reason why they were alerted of the visit. Furthermore, Witness C will come and deal with the specifics of the visit, including the records they received from the prison officials.
Thank you.
Witness B, we can then look at paragraph 77, and this is where you discuss your meeting with Witness A to discuss all of the concerns that you now had, especially given Mr. Dao's release. Can you talk to the Commission about this?
Yes. On the 3rd, we couldn't even sleep. We met, we reflected on everything that has happened, and we also reflected at the danger that was facing us now that Dao was granted bail. On our first attempt, we tried to get hold of Brigadier, trying to explain to her how do we feel now, what is at stake right now. And then we couldn't find the brigadier. She was not in the province. She was having something out of the province, and then failing to get hold of her, we then tried now to think, what else can we do? Given the fact that already we had an instruction to say, you speak to me or the general, now we try to think, how can we reach the general? At that point, we didn't have a direct line with the general. So we engaged one of our colleagues that we have worked with in the past. The one who's not even in our office, and then that will be Sajan Matendra, who was, we knew that she's got an easy access to the general. Therefore, we drove to him. and then we deliberate there. And one of the reasons why we opted to go to Sergeant Matendra, I guess witness A has touched on this, because we have a history of working together in the serious cases. We once worked on several cases. Therefore, there was one member that we used to work with, of which a witness B mentioned that passed away. Maybe it's not the right word to say he passed away, because he didn't pass, actually he was killed. And then with the situations that he would communicate with us to say, hey, there's a problem here and there, and then I might be killed. And we find ourselves in the very same situation.
Witness B?
And
Witness
the person
B.
who would best
Witness B?
understand it was Matendra, because he knew what Ndlovu faced and subsequently what happened to him. So
Witness
we
B.
knew that he will understand our
Witness B.
situation. But the main point, it was for him to connect us with the general,
Witness,
which he subsequently did.
Witness B, please hold your thoughts. Don't forget where you were. Ms. Bowe, did you not introduce this discussion by making reference to paragraph 77?
Chair, I was waiting for a pause to pull the witness back to the sub-contents.
Why I'm asking that is because you said the witness's eyesight is not that good, and that she would not be able to read. I just have the feeling that 77, inclusive of 77.1, up to 77.7 should be read into the record, and perhaps you should do that and just get the witness to confirm. I would like for that to go into the record.
Chair, not to be defined, I'll first ask the witness if she can touch on these issues, because I think she had forgotten them and went straight. But I will do so. I'll read to the record.
And are you hoping that she's going to go 7.1 up to 7.7 point by point? You see, that's my concern. My concern is that it's probably going to be a generalized narrative. Whereas she says, the two of us had reflections, and these are our reflections, 77.1 all the way to 77.2, unless you think the witness is going to be able to do that.
Chair, lest I be disappointed or misleading the commission, I will read the paragraphs into the record.
Thank you.
Starting at paragraph 77. After the granting of the bail and into the early hours of 3 August 2025, witness A and I met to discuss the case. We were extremely concerned about Mr. Dau's release and the danger that this would pose for us. We also reflected on the worrisome things that had already taken place during the course of the investigations. In particular, we recalled threats and intimidation whenever we attended bail application, including the cars that followed us and attempted to drive us off the road after the accused person's first appearance. Threats and warnings from senior SAPS officials expressing both that brown envelopes had been prepared and that if these were not taken, interference from SAPS members, including from Brigadier Nkwashu through Sergeant Sukudu, the omission of linkages in the ballistics report, and general unresponsiveness from Captain Makhotle. Intelligence on the nature of the criminals involved and their reach, in particular that the targets of the investigations were close to senior SAPS members. The withdrawal of 3 of the 5 members who were working on the case with us. Mr. Dau had now been released on bail We were aware of his access to resources and had been warned that if released, we would be his target. Moreover, we learned from an inmate informer that he had tried to procure hitmen to assassinate us while incarcerated. Witness B, can you confirm the contents of these paragraphs?
I confirm.
Thank you.
Before you move on, witness B, in that paragraph 77.4, where you speak about the unresponsiveness from Captain Makotwe, from what you have described regarding General Mulaudzi, would it be wrong to include him, or is there a reason that you don't include him in that complaint about unresponsiveness?
I don't think I understand the question, Commissioner.
You have described to us in your evidence earlier that General Mulaudzi has been uncooperative in giving you an interview and a statement about the events that have happened at the laboratory. And what I'm asking you is, doesn't that conduct also qualify his failure to cooperate with you? Does it not qualify as unresponsiveness as well?
It could, but at this point we are concerned with what we saw as the threats and the issue of General not giving the statement. It came later on. I guess by the time I was looking at those things, I was looking way back from where it started as reflected as and at this point I didn't really look at that to form part of the reflections that we were having at the time. And remember, these reflections we were having on the 3rd of August before we even attempt to get statements from the generals.
I understand. Thank you.
Commissioner Baloyi, on that point, there is a typo on paragraph 77. It should read 3 August 2024, not 5. So the incident with General Mulaudzi happens in January of this year.
I saw from B7 that Mr. Tau was rearrested in September.
Yes, shortly after his bail release. Witness B, can you speak to Mr. Tau's rearrest after his bail release?
Oh yes, he was arrested on the 20th of September. And then after he violated his bail conditions, and then what happened is amongst the what is this bail conditions, was expected to check on him anytime, any day. He was instructed to allow the police to check on him anytime, any day. And then by the first day when I decided to go to check on him, he was not at home. And then we found his son there who told us that he went to work and he's the person who will always go. Then I just knew there and there that we have a problem now. We applied for search and seizure for his DVR because we learned that he had some cameras to monitor now what was happening all along, only to find that shortly after his arrest, he never even obeyed that house arresting. He was going as if there was no restrictions. He would leave, come midnight and everything. Then the docket as per section 67A was opened, and then subsequently, J50 was applied and granted, and on the 20th of September, it was executed. And then he has been in prison since then, and then that case has since been finalized, and he has been convicted on that.
Thank you, Witness B. You were at paragraph 78 and just explained your approach to Sergeant Matendra. And in your explanation, you told the commission why Sergeant Matendra was the right person to approach. And I believe that the story you were conveying there is important to you. So if you can explain to the commission there what happened.
Sergeant Matendra is a colleague that we have been working with, especially in the serious crimes that involve multiple murders. And then we had another member that we used to work with, that would be Sergeant Lovu, whom I said was then killed in line of his duty. And then knowing that Matendra and myself and Witness A and Sergeant Lobu would work together on certain cases, we knew that he was the person that will understand our situation at the time, why we desperately needed to speak to the general about our situation, because we knew now that our situation, like our story, it was just a same script, different characters. We were going to the roots where this other sergeant find himself in, because he would say that, hey, what I'm going through here, I might be killed. So he died knowingly so that he might be killed, as much as we already knew by that time that we are at the verge of being killed ourselves. So the best person who would understand our story, who understand it back to Sergeant Lobi, it was Sergeant Matendra. And then we explained to him, and he subsequently indeed saw the gravity of our story, and he made sure that he connects us with the general, of which we couldn't get hold of him that time, but I believe that the sergeant briefed the general, and subsequently, I think on the 5th, the general called me, and I got a chance to explain what was happening. And
Witness B.
Yes.
Before you deal with your conversations with the general, maybe to step back and deal with paragraph 79, where you talk about the dangers and your continued reliance on the private security company because the SAPS TRA processes hadn't produced any results. Can you tell the commission about that?
Yes, we were like, from the second, we were relying on this private security or company to assist us in order for us to be able to do our investigations. And then the TRA also was done on us.
Witness B, can you just remind us, when did you first request a TRA?
It was shortly after the first appearance. I'm not so certain any longer because I don't have the copy of it, but I believe it was sometime in May.
And as at August, you hadn't received it? Because
in
as
August,
I say,
there was a second TRA now that was conducted, seeing that one, we don't know what happened to it.
so between May when you asked and the beginning of August, nothing had been done on your first request.
No, Commissioner.
Do you know ordinarily how long or what is the response time when there's been a request for a TRA? Ordinarily, what would be the response time?
It was the first time myself dealing with that. I don't know, but what I see on the second TRA, we spoke with the general, I think on the 5th, and then it's either on the 7th or on the 8th already. We got response because the officers from the office conducting the TRA, they came to our office. I had an interview with them. So it was that quick on the second one.
The second one, just to confirm, the second one was after you had now involved General Mbuso Khumalo for assistance.
That's right.
Thank you.
Witness B, oh, my apologies, Commissioner Khumalo.
Yes, Witness B, you have mentioned earlier, but you repeat it in this paragraph 79, that you had to use a private security. How did you get this private security? Is this your private arrangement? Was it an SAPS arranged protection?
No, it wasn't SAPS arranged. I would say it was private, given the fact of the relationship that I had with them since 2020. I first met them 2020 dealing with another case of murder somewhere else.
All right. Thank you, Witness B.
Witness B, at paragraph 80, you refer to talking to the prosecutor after Dow's release, and that she also took some steps of her own accord. Can you tell the Commission about this?
Yes, this prosecutor has been the person that we've been working closely to on this matter since day one. Therefore, we needed even not to explain anything to her. She understood everything and the danger surrounding this investigation. So she was very, very concerned. So she wrote to our office, like I think she copied more than one office with her concerns where our safety is concerned. So she was requesting that the SAPS must do something in order to protect us and the docket.
Commissioners, the letter from the prosecutor is attached to General Khumalo's statement, and I think also General Masamula's statement. I'll provide specific references in the morning. Witness B, you then deal with now when General Mbuso Khumalo calls you back after being briefed by Sergeant Matenja. Can you explain what happens there?
Yes. And then the general called me. I explained everything that we were facing, and then I summarized and all the threats against the investigation team, and then and our concerns since the accused was released. And then the general, the following day, I believe, when I go for investigation, he provided some TRT members to assist, accompany me
on my investigation, even though I don't know what was the reason, but it was on that day, and then it was withdrew after that. But I saw something moving after that, because after that on the 8th, that call I got from the general, it was on the 6th, and then the 7th, the TRT members came. On the 8th, the TRA members also came for interview. Even though this TRA thing, it also take its course. It's not like shortly after that you'll get the results. It took its time, I think plus or minus 3 months in progress. But at least something was happening. Somebody was talking to us. We knew that something was being done, unlike the first one where no one contacted us.
And just for the record, TRT stands for?
Tactical response team.
Advocate Poe, because the witness is not reading from her statement, and I know you know where the witness is and where you are, maybe just indicate to us that we've skipped 4 paragraphs. We are now in paragraph 84.
My apologies, Commissioner Kumalo. The witness dealt with the prosecutor's letter, which is covered from paragraphs 80 to 82, and then 83 deals with the call that she receives from General Kumalo. And then we are now at paragraph 84, where she was provided with support from TRT and the interview with an officer from the TRA. Just for the record, the letter from the prosecutor is attached in General Mkwanazi's statement, MK8, at pages 181 to 183. Witness B, at paragraph 84, you deal with the interview with the TRA officer. Can you tell the Commission about that?
Yes, I would say I had an interview with the Colonel and Dooley and Colonel Theron, of which I don't think I'll be able to say on record what we were dealing with in that interview.
That's fine, Witness B. And at paragraph 85, you deal at a high level with the findings of Colonel Ntuli. Can you explain that to the Commission?
Oh yes, Colonel Dooley, in his findings, he classified the risk or the danger that we were facing as high risk.
And Witness B, do you know what this means for somebody who doesn't understand the categories of risk?
In the lack of better words to describe, I would say it meant now we're at grave risk.
And at the end of the paragraph, you deal with then what is recommended for persons classified as high risk. Do you want to tell the Commission about that?
Yes, in his recommendation, he recommended a 24-hour security where we concerned. So, meaning now that was a start of us losing our lives.
more like going to prison.
Thank you, Witness B. At paragraph 86, you talk about an event that happens during the week of the 12th of August with members of the cold case unit. Can you tell the Commission about that?
Oh yes, on the 12th of August, we, for some reason, I believe we were at the office for something, and then two gentlemen came in, and then they said they were from cold case, of which one introduced himself as Dion Mlaudzi. They were sent from their office to request the Vernagen case with all sub dockets that it goes with. And then, fortunately enough, that we were in the office, I was able to jump in to say, no, those dockets are at DPP. In actual fact, they were not even at DPP because we were shocked in a manner. Why? The first thing that came to our mind, why cold case is interested in this case, that it's so hot. And then
They-
we further
witness-
explained that
sorry,
in case
witness
they
B?
need the dockets, they need to communicate through our commander, that would be Brigadier Khopani.
Yes.
Okay,
Witness,
fine. That was it, then they left. But shortly after they left, I also got another
Witness
call.
B?
Now the
Witness B, before you deal with the call that you get, Commissioner Baloy has a question.
yes. Witness B, it's about the Sergeant Mlaudzi and the person he was with. Did they explain to you why they are collecting this docket, the main docket and its sub dockets from you? Why it should go to
Commissioner.
court case?
Sorry, no, Commissioner, they didn't explain.
And you didn't ask?
I did not ask.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloy. Witness B, in paragraph 87, you talk about the cases traditionally dealt with under the cold case unit. Can you explain this to the Commission?
Normally, the case that will be referred to as cold case, it's where all investigation has been exhausted and nothing come forth. So, meaning no breakthrough on that case, then it will be referred to as a cold case. Doesn't mean now we stop investigating, but not actively as before. Then a cold case will be dealing with such.
And for completeness, did Verenigen and its sub-dockets fall within this category?
No, that's why I used the word that was so hot, because number one, it was fairly not that old. It was a docket that was just opened April. This incident happens in August. Nevertheless, that what is the period? The fact is, people were arrested. It's a court-going case. It can never be classified as cold.
And at paragraph 88, you then deal with a meeting that you had with Major General Khumalo. Can you tell the Commission about this meeting?
I think on this meeting, it was the first meeting that we had with the general after witness A came back from leave, and then we went and see the general. And then we spoke about
Witness B?
Yes.
Oh, you can still hear us. Okay.
Yes, we spoke about the progress of the investigation. From then on, then we were directed that from then on we'll be reporting to him for the guidance on the docket and the responsibility for our safety, and the docket were formally transferred to General Likalakala, who was going to take us through from then on.
And do you know what position General Lekalakala holds?
Oh, he's at Gauteng counterintelligence.
Thank you. Witness B, in paragraph 89, you then say that on the same day as the meeting, you then receive a call related again to the cold case unit. Can you tell the Commission about this call?
Yes, this time around I received the call from Colonel Rod, who was also requesting the very same dockets that two gentlemen came to collect previously, and I directed her to Brigadier Hopan to be the person that she refers the request to.
And why did
Hence,
you...
the Brigadier also told me so, to say anyone who wants the docket, I must just redirect that person to her. And I shared her numbers also to Colonel Rod to speak to the Brigadier.
Again, you describe this interaction as unusual in paragraph 89. Can you explain why?
For the very same reason, because now already the two gentlemen came to the office. I explained that the Brigadier needs to be contacted. Instead of contacting Brigadier, I still get the same call from the same office to say I must give the dockets, and I still gave Brigadier Kopane's numbers still, but I also went back to the Brigadier to alert her to say, I got this call again, however I gave you numbers, most probably they will contact you, of which it was strange, because when I get a briefing from the Brigadier, nobody ever called her.
And that message from Colonel Root asking for the Brigadier's number, you deal with that at paragraph 90.
Yes. Yes.
Witness B, in that paragraph, you explain that you later approached Colonel Root for a statement. Can you explain to the Commission why you approached her for a statement and what the outcome of that was?
Okay. Later on, during the course of our investigation, I was instructed by the commander here to say we must get the statement talking to the because he wanted to understand the reason why, in the first place, the docket was requested, and then we first spoke over the phone, and she said it's okay. I can come see her. I went to her office under the impression that I'll get this the statement. However, when I got there, she said no, she was acting on the instruction from her superior, being Brigadier Gininda. Therefore, she needs to she needs to check with him first, and then he said he will call, she will call me. But then when I make a follow up, then she sent me a message to say I shouldn't be asking a statement from her. I must revert back to the general, to my general, and this matter will be handled at that level.
And Brigadier Gininda, do you know the Brigadier's title?
Pardon?
What is Brigadier Gininda's position?
Oh, she's a commander at Cold Case Unit. He is, sorry to say, he is the commander.
And when you say that Lieutenant Colonel Root said that it should be handled at the rank of the generals, what did you understand by this?
It's what we always encounter during the course of our investigation. At times you get undermined because of the rank. It was more like Sergeant Beckhoff, this is not in your pay grade, therefore it will be handled at that level.
Witness B, before this discussion ultimately with Colonel Rood, had Brigadier Gininda expressed any interest or in any way become involved with this your investigation?
I never had any interaction with Brigadier. Only time that his name was mentioned, it's when the colonel said she cannot give that statement. She needs to check with her Brigadier Gininda. That's all. That's it. She just said it, but I don't know because she said she was working from the instruction. But myself, I never had interaction with the Brigadier.
Thank you.
And Witness B, are you aware of any discussion that may have happened between your general and her general on this issue?
I left it at that. I don't know.
Do you know if there was ever any discussion between Brigadier Khopane, your immediate your superior, and Brigadier Gininda about this matter?
No, fortunately enough, we keep tabs with Brigadier Khopane. According to her, there was never.
Thank you.
Witness B, at paragraph 91, you make a note on the insistence from the cold case unit to obtain the docket. Do you want to talk to that?
All I can say is that up to today, I really don't know why they needed to have this docket. Maybe there is a reason that will be at the level of the generals, as I was informed, but myself, I don't know. I don't have any explanation.
Maybe let me ask a question. Do you know who would be Brigadier Gininda's general?
I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
Witness A, are you authorized in your position? Sorry, Witness B. Are you authorized in your position to simply hand over dockets you are working on to other units?
No, not at all. Without the blessings of my commander, I can't do that.
You would have to obtain permission from your commander.
That's correct.
Thank you, Commissioners. Then
And ordinarily, under what circumstances would the dockets be moved from one unit to another?
Normally, when we have interlinking cases, maybe, and then you'll find one unit obtaining the docket from one to another, but normally the one that will seek dockets from another is the one that is having an active investigation that is at court. Maybe when you find linkages, then you'll go obtain from other units in order to place them at the court roll, because they will be there more like cold, because it won't be a court going. But when you investigate, like let me say, for instance, in this one, this docket has demanded us to have more dockets through linkages, in terms of you may find that the other docket is also implicating the same accused that you already arrested. But it can never be that you take the active one to the one that is not yet at court.
Where was the I-20 Hyundai hijack from? Was it Sunnyside?
That's correct, Commissioner.
And so ordinarily that hijacking would be investigated by the police station under which Sunnyside falls, whatever that police station is.
That's correct.
Yeah, and that docket, is it not with you now or not?
It is.
Oh,
It
yeah,
is.
so
Commissioner.
that's one example. All right, thank you. I think I get the picture. Thank you.
Let me just follow up on that. Witness B, who makes the decision, and who as in title, not name, who makes the decision that a docket must now go to cold case unit?
Good question, Commissioner. Honestly, I don't want to answer on something that I don't know of. I don't know. But while you're at that, I don't know when the docket is declared it's going to the cold case. I want to make mention of one of the cases that subsequently are at court. There's one case that was in socials. It was declared cold. But when now the linkage is emerged, I didn't find it at cold cases. I find it at the still with an IO. So I don't know when is that decisions are made and when. I have no idea of that process.
Is it possible, from your knowledge and experience, that the cold case unit can declare a docket to be called and then come and ask for it in the way that they've done with you?
No, Commissioner. I mean, like an active court docket, it can never be at any stage declared as cold. Cold means there's no linkages, there's no court going, nothing is happening, there's no leads. All the investigation has been exhausted.
Maybe let me just try to clarify my question. My question is, does the cold case unit declare dockets to be called and then come and get them from wherever they are kept otherwise?
It will be difficult for me to
You don't know?
to talk on what happens in court case, because I have no idea.
All right. Thank you.
Witness B, this request from the cold case unit, did they only ask for the Vereniging Meda docket, or did they ask for other dockets that you are in possession of?
It was Vereniging and all its babies.
Sorry, say that again. All its?
I said it's babies. I meant to say sub dockets.
Just for completeness, can you tell us what those are?
Oh, it was Vernaging 275 of 4 2024, Kleprefur 77 of 4 2024, Bramley 149 of 4 2024, and Sunnyside 286 of 1 2024.
Commissioners, I was just trying to cross-reference, and I'll find the reference to General Masamula's evidence. And part of it was that the cold case unit is in his office. Commissioner Baloyi, this is in reference to your question who Brigadier Gininda reports to. But we will communicate the reference.
Thank you, Ms. Boy.
And then at paragraph 92, witness B, you deal with the unexpected events of the 5th of September while you were at your residence. Can you tell the commissioners about that?
On the 5th of September, it was late, around 8. I was already sleeping. Then I was woken up by the rough knocks. When I check, I see police officers, plus or minus 6 or 8. I don't remember, because that frightened me. I was really scared, because I didn't understand what was going on, because there was no prior alerts to say maybe people they will come and everything. And when they got there, they also didn't know who they're looking for. Asking me, they telling me they're looking for, but they were looking for a male person that they mentioned by surname, and I was like, no, I don't know that person. Only to find that they were referring to me. They just didn't know. And given the insight of what was happening, even my colleagues I couldn't trust, because nobody alerted me that they will come. So that did shake me. If I was having some sort of heart disease, I think that was gonna be the day I die.
And did these officials explain who had deployed them to your residence?
As to who, I don't remember if they said, but they said they were from public policing, public order policing, and then they were sent to be there at my house until the next morning. Then that was the beginning of the 24-hour protection, because when they leave, there was a relief. It went on and on and on like that. There was never a time where there was no police around me.
And was it just public order policing that did the 24-hour security?
No, at the night it will be them, but in the morning it will be TRT. And the TRT will be the one who will go with us for investigations.
And in real terms, what did this look like for you at the time when these two units were providing protection at your residence?
Honestly, for me, it was good, because I could see something now, it has been done. And then
it will make you feel a little better now when you go out and do your investigation. But the only thing that was frightening me, it was that encounter at night, and then from there on, we understood that that's our life from then on.
And at this stage, did this have any effect on your family?
A lot. As I'm saying, that was the beginning of us losing our lives. It was not only on us, on family too. Because even the children couldn't understand why are we now surrounded by people all the time.
Thank you, Witness A. Commissioners, we are about to move to the next topic, which is a little lengthy. So I seek guidance on whether to start and make use of the next 10 minutes, or if...
What's your preference?
I would prefer a slightly earlier adjournment.
Can I just ask one more question? Witness B, you may have covered this earlier, but maybe I did not hear you. Did the cold case unit ever come back to ask for the dockets, or was your communication, I believe it was with Lieutenant Colonel Ruot, was that the end of it? They never came back to ask for the dockets?
That's right, Commissioner. That was the last time.